I call it word throw. And the practice is very simple. I say, okay, let's do something different this morning. Okay, I want you to just think of an English word, any English word. And I write word on the blackboard. Okay, and I'm going to think of an English word. And I write the other occurrence of word on the blackboard. And I'm going to say it to you, and you're going to say your word to me. And I'm going to think of another word, and I'm going to throw it out at you real fast. If we're good at this, this is going to go like a ping pong rally. And we're just going to be saying words. Now, don't worry about the meaning of the word. As long as it's an English word, and as long as it's always a new word, any word will do. They don't have to have any meaning with each other. They don't have to have any meaning with the words you said before. They don't have to have a theme, okay? But if you want to have a theme, that's fine. But any word. So it would go something like, does anyone want to demonstrate this with me? A lot of head shakes. A lot of head shakes. Oh, Marushka. Oh, Simon is going, thank God. Okay. Marushka has to unmute.
Okay. Okay.
You good with this?
All right. I'm ready. Maybe.
Okay. Here we go. All right. All right. Kitchen.
Blue.
Fork.
Frog.
Knife.
Orange.
Napkin.
Purple.
Table.
Cat.
Chair.
Camera.
Good. Now, I don't know if you noticed this, and I actually asked my kids. I don't know if you noticed this, but Marushka, I didn't, while I was doing that with you, I didn't sense that you had an overall theme to connecting the words that you chose. Yeah.
No, I was just trying to listen to you.
Right. You were probably trying to react to what I said, right?
Yeah.
Okay. But if I said something goofy, you might be spending all your time kind of giggling to it before you could think of a word. This is actually my point to the kids. Did you notice what I did? From the beginning, I said kitchen, fork, knife, table, napkin. I had a theme in my head. And if you have a theme in your head, it's easy for you to pluck words because you know what the next word will connect to. I encourage you to have a theme in your head. If you don't have a theme in your head, if you run out of words to that theme, think of a new theme. And we go, thank you, Marushka. And we go on from single word throw to the beginning of phrase throw, which begins with two words. Any two words. And again, they don't need a grammatical connection. They don't need to have any sort of thematic connection. However, at this point, a thematic connection actually will help you a lot more. Now, why am I emphasizing this? Because a lot of these kids go into conversations thinking, I want to speak English. But what they were not used to is actually thinking, I have to prepare something to say. Because as native speakers of Japanese, you don't prepare what you're going to say. You go up to that person and start speaking from the heart. You don't have to think about the grammar. You don't have to think about the vocabulary. But as a person who had to learn how to speak French and Japanese, I learned that what I didn't do in French was prepare what I was going to say to this person. But I did do that in Japanese, and things were more successful. And I actually still do it in Japanese. When I'm thinking I have to go to the administration and we're going to be talking about this kid that has a bit of an anxiety disorder in my classroom, I go prepare the vocabulary. I think about the vocabulary. I think about my grammar. Then we're on the conversation. I don't have to make things up as I go along so much. It's a different task if I'm going up to a friend and I know, well, I'm on a date or something like that. It's a different set of vocabulary. These kids don't even know that maybe they should do that. And this prepares them for the idea that they have to have something ready to say before they go into any kind of communicative situation. Phrase throw goes from two words where the two words themselves, oh, sorry about that. The two words themselves, okay, have a condition, okay? And one of them must be a verb. Could be the first one, could be the second one, I don't care. Both of them, I don't care, but at least one of them has to be a verb. Now, you guys know what a verb is, right? You know, run, sit, stand, jump, kick, buy, sell. And you go, okay, we got it. One has to be a verb. And you might monitor, and some people will forget. You remember, no, verb, one verb. Good. So you might want to monitor that. One has to be a verb. And after a couple of rounds of that, they're going to start saying things like sister, study, play, baseball. And this is where I point out to them, okay, look at that. And I write it on the board exactly this way. Look at this. If you add judiciously just one more word, you're going to get a subject, verb, object chain. When you were thinking about play baseball, you were probably thinking about yourself, right? You're a baseball guy, right? You're probably thinking, sister study English. Well, yeah, it really should be my sister studies English, but hey, it's cool. I understood you, that your sister study. Oh, your sister doesn't study English. Okay, cool. Just don't forget to put that in there. But I know you were limited. You weren't allowed to say not because you were only allowed to say 2 words. I promised you kids, and I'm talking to them, I promised you kids that all I want you to learn from the beginning of this class was to be able to string together subject, verbs, and objects. And if you make the next step, you will be doing that. What you thought you couldn't do, what you thought was an empty promise on my part, you will hit in the next 2 or 3 minutes because you're going to be speaking like this. Once they get from that, then I call it idea throw. And I do not call it sentences. I do not call them sentences because if they're sentences, they're starting to think again about accuracy. And one of the important things is that fluency is entirely separate from complexity and accuracy. There is way too much confusion. When people are talking about fluency, they think that fluency means, well, you got to have complex sentences, beautiful English, and you've got to be accurate. No, it is a triad: complexity, accuracy, and fluency. Fluency is my definition. Do you speak fast and do you speak smoothly? With effed up grammar or confusing vocabulary, sometimes you make syntactical mistakes, but are you fluent? Okay, that's fluency. Complexity and accuracy is something they practice with their JTE a lot more. You don't need to teach them that. They have enough pressure learning that. Let them make mistakes. So idea is the word I use, not sentence. Now they have to actually say entire ideas. Sister study English. Sister go school. That's one person. Mother make dinner. Mother no good cook is what they want to say. And what you're going to find is that naturally more and more of them will start to bounce, like Marushka was trying to do, bounce off each other. But because they have to bounce off each other 2 sentences at a time, they, or maybe not, maybe you'll have to give them a lot more practice, will need more practice to actually be able to get to the point where there's throwing sentences that are thematically connected and, believe it or not, spontaneous and near independent. There are a few more things that I can show you to actually get to independent conversation. But number one, we're running out of time. And most of you do not have the luxury of doing exactly what I do. Instead, you probably just want to get to this point. Word throw, you can use that as a warm-up anytime. Kids love it.